Welcome back to the Trippy Show. We're closing out the Wednesday, March 11th edition of the Trippy Show with a very huge paranormal news segment because we didn't get a paranormal news segment in on Monday. So we have a lot to cover, that's for sure, including some UFO sightings from over the weekend. We have a pretty crazy one here in Oregon where we've been getting a lot of news about UFO sightings here. This one is from a witness who witnessed a hovering orange UFO drop a sphere. So this is an Oregon witness at Albany reporting watching a large hovering orange object that dropped a sphere before moving away at a higher rate of speed. Now, my dad works for the local government here, and they are now going to employ a drone around the county. So he's dealing with the new drone technology. And I think crazy. That's what's going on here in Oregon. Basically, you're going to have the school board flying a drone around all the time. They spend so much money on basically giving helicopter pilots to, they give them the money to take the pictures. Now they're just going to do it themselves with the drone that they can operate themselves. Yeah. They have drone school and all that. I think where you have a drone, in this case, dropping a orange sphere, it seems to me like maybe it is something from Amazon or something.
Yeah, it could be. That's the thing about the drones is crazy. I went to a Bucks game last year, and we were tailgating out in a parking lot that was a few blocks down from the stadium, down on the other side there of Dale Mabry. And you're kind of out in like the woods where you're parked at. Not really woods, there's not a lot of trees, but just like open fields. And while we were out there, dude, we noticed a drone come flying around, had a camera on it, and was flying around the whole parking lot. And we were looking around, we're like, you know, there's no cops out here, there's no security guards out here. Yep. That is their drone. That's probably, you know, Tampa Police drone flying around, and that's how they're just monitoring everything and seeing if everything's good.
Makes sense, and it's funny how when you see it now, it's a little bit eerie. It's definitely trippy, but I feel like pretty soon it's just going to be one of those things.
So your dad's training people to fly these, man. How do you get signed up for this job?
No, he's not training, but there is drone school that you have to go to in Miami.
So he's going to this drone school.
Yeah, he's one of the people that obviously might have to learn how to drive the drone. It's definitely one of the best jobs you could ever get for the government. That's pretty dope, to say the least. And I think that's what's going on here. We're going to see more and more of these drone sightings reported as UFOs. I mean, let's be real, guys. A small, tiny drone cannot be confused about a UFO. We're talking about a vehicle that has traveled light years to get to us. It's not going to be the size of an RC helicopter.
I know, right?
But here's another story where this is definitely much bigger. This was over in Great Britain. You had a witness over in Worcester. They reported 2 encounters with a UFO beginning at 7 p.m. on March 8th. The object in the second sighting was about 20 feet off the ground, according to testimony. The witness was about to leave for work right at 7 when the first object was seen. They said, there is a star-like light speeding across the sky, but it was not flashing and no other lights were present with it. And it was traveling faster than a plane, twice as fast, I would say. The witness was returning home from work at 10:04 p.m. when they saw the second object. Mike, I know you're looking at the actual video evidence. What do you think about this?
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, this was reported to police, I read, as well.
Oh, yeah.
So it's pretty interesting. I mean,
it's basically a silver triangle. You think that it might be a balloon of some kind.
Yeah, apparently he included this image taken from the internet. He said this is what it looked like.
Oh, okay, so that wasn't the actual footage.
Right.
Interesting. Well, he said it looked exactly like it. I'm looking at the actual witness's report right now, and all we can really do is report on it. As far as I'm concerned, it does look a lot more eerie than some of the other sightings where we were able to pretty much cast off as drones right away. This doesn't look like a drone at all, and it has a very, very original shape, you can call it. It's a triangle, but more rounded, some pointy edges to it, and definitely looks like something that's capable of going fast, which they actually claimed it went twice as fast as an airplane.
Now, Mike, there was another sighting that you were telling me about earlier, something about a bright green fireball over Colorado.
Yeah, it was a crazy green fireball that was seen over Colorado. That apparently, I think someone got, is it video or pictures of?
I think there's 2 videos. You can't really see because obviously, you know, with cameras, it's hard to see stuff that's up in the air. It looks a lot smaller than it really looks.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is there's a bunch of people on Twitter that were saying they were all saying they saw the same thing, random people. 2 different people had videos that they posted up. So they don't really know what it was. I mean, it could be an asteroid that was burning up, but just crazy. They said it was had a really like greenish glow to it.
I've seen something just like this. We're looking at the video footage right now. It really takes you by surprise. I mean, it's huge. It looks like a fucking fireball, and it is unique that it's green. Most of the time you see almost a white glow, sometimes blue, obviously red. This time it's green, flying across the sky. I've never seen something this big, but I've seen things clearly getting into our atmosphere and, of course, burning up, in this case being pretty large. What do you think about it, Mikey?
I mean, it's obviously something, I think it's some space junk or something.
What if it was something that was like frozen underneath, like a big layer of ice underneath on this asteroid, and when it comes through, it melts off, and whatever was on there is getting released.
Possibility.
Right now.
Here's what I'm thinking.
Getting released into our atmosphere.
Well, here's what I think, guys. Considering it's got a green color, what if it's the waste from the space station up there? They dump it off. I mean, the green color,
it gets caught in rotation, and it was big and thick enough, coming straight through. They're probably taking a bunch of like fiber pills and stuff up there because they can't really eat solid food.
That space ice cream, that probably doesn't come out too good.
I know they probably got some like a ton of waste that they released, and it's coming into our atmosphere.
Oh boy!
What if that green color is like some crazy alien like Godzilla type monster, and it's gonna pop up tomorrow, and we'll have like crazy news stories.
Nice. Coming in kind of coming in on an asteroid, and then
we definitely can't wait to cover that
Superman,
at the Trippy Show.
Superman came in like that.
I think it might be the Philadelphia Eagles playoff chances.
Oh man, after they traded their quarterback Nick Foles for Sam Bradford. Now we have to go to our boy Raspo here. Apparently, Raspo has some intense, trippy paranormal news stories to get to. Raspo, what are you looking at this Wednesday night?
Oh, I also, I wanted to make a comment before we left that story too.
The green ball of death?
Yeah, I'm looking online, and there are multiple people on Twitter who had said this was the craziest meteor I've ever seen. Says Nate_Hershey over Denver this morning. I mean, this thing was. This is probably something, to me, it looked like it lasted typically longer than the standard meteor. So that's pretty interesting. Maybe it's not necessarily a meteor.
Maybe it was something that was actually just flying through the air.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe someone falling out of a plane,
that's
something like that.
Saying,
all right.
But yeah, I'll get to my couple of my trippy stories here.
What do we got?
So we have Moon Express. They're a Mountain View, California company, and what they're doing is they're planning on sending the first commercial robotic spacecraft to the moon to be able to mine it.
It's about damn time.
So they are actually working with NASA and in their lunar initiative known as Catalyst.
Okay.
And what that program is designed to do is to spur new commercial U.S. spacecraft to go to the moon and cash in.
We've been asking for this for a while.
You gotta get some of that cheese, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
I just want to see pictures of the dark side of the moon, man. Let's see it. I want up close and personal pictures.
So you're talking about the tourism side then, not so much the minerals.
I've heard some stories that maybe there's some alien bases in the dark side of the moon. Maybe we'll cover that on the Trippy Show.
Pink Floyd is there. They play 24/7.
Yes,
now,
sir.
Do you know the key mineral or thing they're looking for here in the moon?
What is it, Mikey?
It is actually helium-3. It's a gas that is extremely rare here on Earth and extremely expensive, and it's widely available throughout the moon.
Helium, huh?
Got to think with these diamond companies, these companies mining for gold, they're making so much money. They're going to get into the helium industry and build their own space shuttle.
It apparently can be used in future fusion reactors to provide nuclear power without radioactive waste.
Whoa!
Oh, damn!
Yeah. Sorry, moon. You're gonna have holes through it. It's gonna be like the cheese moon now, Matt.
I mean, this is gonna be
a bunch of holes in it.
It's gonna be like the 49ers and the gold rush. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, we're going to a new energy
helium
source.
rush.
That's like
helium rush.
I mean, that's crazy.
But unfortunately, the governments control who gets to go there.
That's right,
Mike. We're sending you to the moon. Get ready to mine.
Yeah, that'll be a good warm-up trip for him before he goes to Mars.
Before Mars. Yeah,
exactly.
That way he doesn't pussy out on us.
Yeah, well, he's got no choice.
Raspo, what other stories you looking at?
There's another story here that I was looking at. One of the moons of Saturn, called Enceladus, It actually, they just have come out with new research suggesting that there are hot springs beneath the icy surface of this moon.
Really?
And that's obviously important because...
It's like volcanic activity then, right?
Yeah, and the main thing is we want to find life. And I think I think in our lifetime, RJ, we're going to find it. I think we're going to see some sort of life. It might not be intelligent, or we might not think it's intelligent, but I feel like we're going to come into contact with something sending these spacecraft to even our nearby planet's moons.
Now, Matt, this moon looks crazy, man. You look at these pictures from it, you can tell there's been water flowing on this planet for a long time, man. There's all kinds of canals.
Looks beautiful.
And, there's all kinds of, you can just see it on there, that there's definitely, there's got to be water, or there was water on this moon.
Very interesting. Now,
Which
my
is
fear...
weird. How is that possible? Being
on a moon, right?
Being a moon for Saturn, one of Saturn's moons.
Yeah, right. My fear when it comes to life form, you're saying that we'll probably discover life form. I don't want them to discover life form, bring it back. One of our favorite movies growing up here at the Trippy Show was Gremlins. I don't want them to bring back a cute little gizmo. All of a sudden you feed it water and you have a gremlin attack.
Okay, RJ, what if I asked you, I was like, all right, at this point in time in the future, just work with me, that we have a spacecraft that can take you to this moon.
I'm out.
Okay.
Send in Mike.
Hold on. They haven't found any life there, but they're like, yo, RJ, you can chill here. We got your specialized spacesuit in your hot springs, and you're going to be in hot springs looking at like an icy landscape. That would be
I'm not going to
lie. Trippy and awesome.
Eventually it's going to be sick to actually have interplanetary travel, but I want it straight Star Trek, Scott. I want them to beam me up like Scotty. In fact, I just want to be able to beam around everywhere. We're over here at the studio in Tampa. We're at the BRN, but we live across the Tampa Bay over in Pinellas County, where you can find all the beaches. That's kind of our spot. So it'd be nice to beam ourselves from the beach to the studio. That would be optimal, and I'm actually looking for that before going to another planet.
Yeah, going back to what movie it would remind me of if aliens somewhat took over humans. Remember The Thing?
Oh, God, that was crazy.
Dude, Invasion of the Body Snatchers is the classic.
Now, this is pretty interesting that we're finding this moon here that looks like it's had water on it. Now, there's another thing. It's one of Saturn's moons. Now, RJ, I know you know a little about this. Saturn is something that is used in the Illuminati a lot. The actual planet of Saturn, we've seen that reference to it.
Yeah.
So
pulling that one out of left field there, K-Mac.
I'm just saying, maybe there's a reason behind it. Maybe there's people that know we came from this moon.
A possibility. I mean, a lot of movies actually show Saturn as symbolism. The latest movie, what was that? The one with what's his name, traveling to the other planets? Interstellar. Yeah. Basically, when they travel through a wormhole, they make it over to Saturn. The same thing happened in the movie Contact. So there's definitely a lot of symbolism when it comes to Saturn.
Yeah, definitely weird how Saturn is one of the only planets to have a giant ring around it.
No, you also have Jupiter, Mikey.
But, I mean, noticeable ring.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Saturn by far has
color.
the most amazing rings out of all the planets.
Of course. It's definitely one of the most amazing planets
in
our solar
all
system.
gas or something like that, too. I mean, that's really crazy.
Perhaps there's something going on over there. They have moons with water.
The gas is an illusion. Gas is an illusion.
Let's quickly change topics here, Maddie. I actually wanted to talk about this. I think this story has gone too far, and we now have to include it in our paranormal news. Perhaps bringing an animal from another planet has already happened, Raspo, because we covered a story not too long ago about an octopus, a killer octopus that jumped out of the water, walked like a man, and snatched up a crab, took it back underwater to its grave. Now we have a story of a massive octopus in Seattle trying to escape its aquarium display, and this one's a huge one. So you had a giant male octopus caught on a cell phone video scaling the glass tank, and we've heard plenty of stories about stuff like this. You could put an octopus in a bottle and it'll find its way out.
Yeah.
And basically it almost escaped. It could apparently get out of water, roam around. I'm wondering if these guys are aliens, because watching them actually walk around is creepy as fuck.
It is.
Well, I'm reading it here, and it says apparently the octopus, properly named Ink, he apparently was not trying to escape, but he was learning to embrace his new home with all 8 arms. They apparently go throughout their new homes and check out all the little creases and everything.
It's a fucking alien.
That was a great explanation by the aquarium, by the way. Probably because all the people there are like, holy shit.
I would have said that's ink being ink.
Ink being ink.
Now, in the next year, ink will be released back into the wild. So it has obviously been trying to plan out how to escape the water and make it onto land. So they're going to just give it out to the wild, probably attacking us. So watch out for killer octopus in the future.
Viva la revolucion.
Raspo, do you have any more trippy paranormal news stories to get to tonight? Was that the ones you wanted to cover?
This is kind of a trippy trend, and also kind of paranormal.
What's up?
Think Reanimator here. If you guys have anybody seen the movie,
No.
Sergio Canavero, this doctor, he is actually looking to basically be able to perform a human head transplant by the year of 2017.
Human head transplant?
Wow.
Yeah, he's basically basing his experiment off of a 1954 experiment by a surgeon named Vladimir Demikhov. And in that transplant, he actually put a larger dog's body on, he matched it with a dog's head and forelegs. It's real trippy and weird.
That's so fucked up. That's like from South Park. Remember, they'd have the crazy scientist that would invent the 5-assed monkey and whatnot? That sounds like what's going on.
It reminds me of Mars Attacks. The aliens take the head off of the one guy and then they put it on like a dog's body.
Yep.
Well, this is they're saying it seems unlikely to succeed, but this guy seems like the crazy doctor, the mad scientist who's like, I'm gonna do it anyway. You know what I mean?
Well, no, Matt. Actually, scientists came out and they said this was a couple of weeks ago. They came out and said that in 2 years from now there will be full body transplants. So it's where somebody's has a working brain, they're going to be able to attach that to somebody who has a perfectly good body.
Nice.
So this is something that definitely is going to be happening soon.
I mean, all of us, we're pretty good age. We're about, you could say pretty close to our body's prime, so it'll be perfect timing for us. In about 10 years, we're going to want to trade out for the new version, and then we can all maybe get Fabio-esque bodies. It would be hilarious to see Raspo, with a huge Arnold Schwarzenegger-esque body, just because, you used the last one. It's time for a new one. Now, I actually want